Well, you've seen the thumbnail and you've seen the clickbaity title. Obviously, I've bought a new bike. This is the reveal video, and I don't think on the thumbnail we'll be actually showing exactly what the bike is, so you'll have to hang around to find out what it is, how I bought it and why I bought it. But first of all, I've got to start to make some room to actually keep it under cover when it gets dark. Of course, I've got my beloved Ducati Multistrada. You would think any man would just be satisfied, wouldn't you? And I've got my Project CB750 Cafe Racer that I've recently been putting some more effort into. I've even got my 750cc Bonneville Desert Sled project. So why, for the love of God, have I bought another bike? And I even asked myself that. I didn't need my wife or my son to point out it seems an act of absolute insanity. I've even got a BMW E36 car that we've been putting a lot of effort into as well. So, new bike wasn't really something I should have been looking for. However, I think a lot of you will be just like me. Obviously, I do enjoy riding motorbikes, and frequently, because of living in the UK, I don't feel I ride enough. During the summer, it seems to compress into only a few weeks, and this year we've actually been lucky in that the weather's been quite good. But I equally enjoy doing the spannering, but I don't like doing it in cold garages in the damp winter either, so it's a hard balance to make. Like a lot of people, I look on Marketplace all the time. I look on Auto Trader, eBay, you name it. I'm always looking at bikes, ones that I've fancied, ones that I'd perhaps like to buy. I have a list in my head of bikes that I'm interested in, so when they come up at good prices and they look like good bikes, it always piques my interest. Not far from us is Matthewson's vehicle auctions. It's the bangers and cash that you see. And occasionally they'll have a bike I'm interested in. I'll go on their viewing days and have a good look round. And generally, although I'm registered to bid, they frequently go for more than I would pay for them. Anyway, just recently, a bike caught my interest. No, not the one I've just bought. It was a Honda Hornet that I went to look at. I've always fancied the 900cc Fireblade engine in the sit-up and beg style bike. However, it might have been too much of a competitor for my Multistrada, so it wasn't a serious contender, but the bike I went to see was virtually like new. It had only done 1,000 miles. It had been one owner all the time through and had been in reasonably dry conditions. So it had to catch my interest because it would be a fairly unique bike to be able to get at this time. So the main bike I went to look at was that. But there's always going to be one or two that catch your interest. And the one that I've actually bought was the third on my list, which I gave the least attention to while I was at the viewing day for the auction. So the bike's arriving today. I've got a friend who runs AR motorcycles, if you want to use them, in the East Yorkshire area. And he's picking it up this morning and bringing it to drop it off for me. Now at this stage, I'm not sure whether it's a running bike or it's going to have problems. So you're going to see this firsthand with me when I first check this bike over at delivery. And I'm a bit nervous. I'd like to think it's going to be a runner. I expect it's not going to be. I'm really not looking for another project bike. I want to have a usable bike, and I'm not sure with this one yet which way that's going to go. You'll see in a short while, and I will tell you how much I paid for it. It's one of those where I think it was very good for the money, otherwise I wouldn't have bid on it. I genuinely thought that it might go for more than I'd be willing to pay. So it was a surprise purchase. Surprised me as much as it surprised the other members of my family. But I'm ecstatic and excited. I always like to have bikes that I feel have been good value when I've bought them. It's just one of those things. It's ingrained in my brain. I can't help myself. I think this is potentially a very good value bike, but we'll see when it gets here. Well, there you have it. Who thought I'd buy another Bonneville? This one's a 1979 one made in the Meriden factory by the Workers' Cooperative. It's one of the later ones, a T140E, E for emissions, so it's had some modifications for the American market for that. It's still got the original paint. Lots of it is still original, apart from the handlebars. It's very few owners. One owner for the last 7 years, and then a previous owner for 36 years before that. It's got a bit of corrosion on it, but it doesn't look like it's been left outside for all that time. It's actually not bad. I need to have a look over it now and see which bits are good and which bits are bad. I've not had a look under the seat yet. That's always an eye-opener, isn't it? Before I do that though, let's just see if it goes on the centre stand. Usually they droop down and both wheels are on the ground. It'd be nice if the back was in the air. So let me give it a go. Oh, look at that. That's actually quite impressive. Oh, thrilled. And there's some chrome on there. Some really interesting engineering went into the top box carrier. I don't know if I'm impressed or depressed. It doesn't look particularly good. It's been on a display in the auction place for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and it doesn't look like it's been run in a while. But let's just see if there's any life in the battery at all. Oh, look at that. We've got oil warning and we've got neutral. I'm pretty sure the mileage is correct, because when it's had MOTs about 10 years ago, it was at about 16,000 miles. Now these are Smith's clocks, and a lot of the Bonnevilles of this era came with Veglia clocks. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Some came with Smith's clocks, but it actually said Meriden. Now, it just was what they had in at the time that they put on. So I think these are the original clocks for the bike. If you think differently, do let us know in the comments. But I think these are the right ones. One of the things that stuck out to me was it's actually got a battery trickle charge pigtail on it. So obviously someone's been looking after it, and the chances are, if they were still riding, they'd have took this off. I can't imagine they'd have just left it on. I don't think it's locked. Oh, it's not. Very clean under here. And the battery, it's a Moto Bat one. Can't see a date on it, but it looks reasonably new. So everything looks promising. Let's have a look at the oil. Oh, plenty of oil, and it actually looks very, very clean. That's really, really good. I know that the brakes work because I've been using it, and it also puts the light on. Let's just have a quick look and see if I can see the brake fluid. The seal. Actually, it is discoloured, but it's really not that bad. All the Triumphs I've had previously of this era, that's been congealed and just has white corrosion in it, so some new fluid, that'll be really good. Bizarrely, it is a really cheap tyre, and I can't see a dot mark on it. I think they still do these, the Nilo Grip Pluses, and it's not, it does feel wooden, but I'd have expected it to feel like that from new, to be honest. The brake disc is absolutely fine. It's, you know, a bit marked up, but that's all. And even the chrome on that will definitely come up. There's no pitting. To see an old tax disc on, but I know this bike has been used since then because it was MOT'd in something like 2012, so, you know, that's a bit misleading. Obviously, they've had a good go at sealing the cross pipe on the exhaust. Still, to me, it looks like a good clean and fuel sorted out. I mean, it might be a way. Someone cared enough to put a fuel filter on it, and there's nothing congealed in there. And the choke mechanism, I can't remember which way this goes. Feels a bit stiff. Oh, hang on, it clicks on, clicks off. It's an enrichment device on these. My expectation is the carbs will be the thing that are the biggest problem. It's got some aftermarket shocks with an external reservoir on. I'm really not sure what brand they are. They're probably cheap Chinese, I expect. But yeah, they'd be better than rusty Girling ones, I suspect. So we'll have to see how they perform. It's also interesting to see this has been chromed and the sprocket's been chromed. Looking at the sprocket, it doesn't look too worn, so may just get away with not even changing the chain at first. Just noticed the grease around the swing arm, and there's grease somewhere else as well. So someone has maintained this lovingly, I think. Just doing a quick check on the battery, which I've not done anything with at all. So it's got 12.9 volts. So anything over 12.4 is reasonably good. 12.9 is not bad at all. On the back it's got a King's tyre. I've never heard of them at all. Again, it's not obviously an original tyre, and it looks in reasonable condition, got plenty of tread. I can see that it's actually got a dot mark of 2211, so I'm thinking it's week 22 of 2011. So they are 15 years old. Hey, but they still look okay, and I'm sure for just bimbling they'll be absolutely fine. The sprocket looks fine. It's been chromed in the past, and I've just noticed, I think the frame's actually been powder coated. So things, you know, get better and better in some ways. The tank's got original paint, and apart from losing a bit of lacquer over here and a very slight dint here, it's actually really, really nice. Now then, looking inside, it isn't too rusty. It has some fuel in it, which smells fairly horrific. What I'm thinking I might do is just drain the tank first off, flush it through. That's my accidental auction purchase, and I'll be honest, I'm quite pleased with it. I think for what I've paid, it looks like it's got really good bones. Things that I'm a little bit worried about at the moment. It's got really nice clean oil and it's full, but it could be that the sump's full of oil as well and someone's just topped it up. I suspect that might not be the case, but if not, then this engine's not wet sumping, which is a really good thing. It's been more apart than I've expected because I think the frame's been powder coated. So that's a bit of a surprise because it did look, or does look, very sort of original. I'm really not keen on the handlebars. However, you can't just move these forward because this is catching on the clock. So I'm actually going to need to get some different handlebars for it before I can change anything with that. The fuel is definitely past its best. Now I'm going to hope that they drain the carbs, and if I drain the tank, flush it through a little bit, put some fresh fuel in, it may just start. So that's what I think I'm going to be doing in the next video. It also needs a good clean. It hasn't been cleaned for a while. However, when you look, you can see it has been very clean in the past. Things like the hubs and such like, which are usually caked with clag and such like, are really clean. A little bit of corrosion on them and nothing else. So, you have to let me know in the comments, how do you think I did? Was it a folly at this stage, or Did I do the right thing pressing the bid button? I paid £2,550 for it. I know I've sold 2 Bonnevilles like this for well more than £4,000 or £5,000 that were not as good a nick as this, as it stands. So it's like half price nearly. It's tempting at the moment with auction prices. So see what I do next. Subscribe, give us a like.